Hello YouTube, welcome to part 2 of this. We're going to try not to lose any more footage. We even took a clip of this the other day when we were soaking this. We put some duct tape over those. Look at that scrunch in there. I don't know how we're going to get in there and brush that. We're going to brush that the best we can. Take acetone to get the glue off. That's that heavy duty T-Rex liver tape. It dripped into a bucket, but it probably was in there a little small jug of CLR. Or CRL, or whatever that stuff for calcium, lime, and rust there. Whatever brand it is. Could have been an off-brand, I don't know. Probably is a regular brand. Anyway, enough of that. We'll figure out how to do that. So let's get that out of the way. Thought we'd show that so we get caught up. We're going to weld this, okay? Now, I'm not an expert on steel, okay? This is some heavy-duty stuff to grind, okay? It's not like that cast iron, whatever. I mean, this is a pretty solid hunk of metal. What we're going to do is, we're thinking about maybe not even warming up the propane torch. This is so deep in here. If you look how this goes around. There, that's a better idea. We're going to start welding some beads in here. Way down in here. Weld a bead. Weld, and we're not going to stop. We don't want to time out the welder, though. We're going to weld a bead, weld another bead, beside another bead, another bead. This is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. So the time I get out here, it's going to be really hot. And we're going to put a lot of welding here. We'll probably have way too much because we're going to have to be looking at this, trying to figure out how round it's got to be. So we'll probably actually over weld it. We have to clean this. Man, it's heavy. Oh, that about broke my wrist. We have cleaned all this. You can see it. Going on the angles of the waffle pattern. That's what I call it. Here, let me get rid of that before we break it. You know, it's like a waffle maker, isn't it? Sure it is. Ain't it the same as a waffle maker? And we tried putting our flats back on there, but you can tell when I wrote it, I mean, it's cleaned everywhere. We will acetone it though, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep these parts short. We don't want this be a big long series when we're hauling this. We've got other stuff to do. Clamping it to get it ground. There's a problem. There's rust in there. It's hard to get it. We will find a way to clamp this. It'll probably lay in with a clamp like over here or somewhere. I might even try to put a vice grips on there first. So here we go. We'll be back when this is all welded. And then we'll show you, we might talk about it for a minute, then we'll show you it looks like when we grind it off. So that's today's project. This is probably going to take the better part of the day. It is already 10:30 in the morning, and I bet you it'll be after lunch before I'm done. MIG weld with gas. There. Not flux core. We're going to, like I said, we'll acetone this. So we want as clean a metal as we can get. So we're off. We're off to work. Hi ho, hi ho, let's go. Okay, we did wrap this up for about a half hour with a pair of welding gloves. You think I got it hot enough? That purple goes around there a long ways. The first few beads was splattering a lot of stuff back at me. It was. You could not touch here at all. After I wrapped it up, it would burn your fingers. It's still a little warm. I'm not going to worry about a fraction if it cools off. It's not cold outside. It's about 60 degrees, but we wanted plenty on it. We wanted it to be semi-round. As far as this pattern in here, grinding it, it doesn't have to be perfect. But the first thing we're going to do is make it round, okay? That's going to tell us our roundness. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start going over this and shaping it. We want it round first so we know where to stop at, so we don't grind it away. I think you know what I mean. Yeah, that's got some... Somebody's working somewhere. It's got some purple to it clear around here, huh? There you go. We'll get back to work. It's been about an hour since I last talked to you and said I was going to go out welding and let it cool down and everything. So, back to work. Okay, that's with a 4.5 inch grinder disc. See the vice grips on here to keep this one spinning. The rest be done with a flapper disc to shape it. So, back to work. Okay, we're going to try to get you up close and personal here. This is just done with the 36 grit sanding disc. If you haven't seen it on my channel, I use it a lot. These are not cracks. Don't anybody tell me they were cracks, okay? I've had people criticize me for. This is where the broken piece met where I welded. Well, I just didn't overlap enough, okay? Because I was welding up, but like I said, by the time you build on the welds up, and in the picture you can see where I tried going around the edge, but just primer and paint. I'm not going to try, good to put putty in there, abuse the thing and fall out. There's kind of nasty. That was like a last second thing that I seen. I was like, wow, I forgot about that when I was welding, because there was an extra little chip there and it wasn't clean. Then we'll look here with our waffle pattern. We'll get your camera up here. It's not perfect. I did take that disc and kind of go in there, which is too big of a tool to use. But we'll take our Dremel and kind of clean it up, Dremel stone. It is round. We'll roll it. Good angle that I use. See, it's pretty round. It takes a lot of sculpting there. And that disc is not flexible. That's what I wanted. You get a flexible, those flapper wheels, you can mess up. That was straight, hard, there's hardly no give. So where you were pressing, that's where it's doing. So there you go. Not too bad. I said it's a tool, it'll be painted. So stay tuned, we'll come back with probably one more or so thing, and then we're going to call it good for part 2, because part 3 is just going to be painting. There's not a lot left on here. Clean these threads out. Okay, we got cut off. We must talk too much. There might be a setting in my camera I pressed, because it just shut off, showed some screen, and I just panicked and shut the camera off. So, yeah, part 3 will be mostly painting. So we're cleaning them threads out somehow. They don't have to be perfect. There's going to be oil in them, like I said, it's a tool. But you know me, I don't want to have that all rusted. I do not want to use a bunch of penetrating spray or stuff and get that all wet. I want that clean so when I acetone it, I can paint it. Stuff like this probably use sanding drum things and the Dremel, things like that. We'll see. But we'll take a couple more pictures here. Like I said, I already showed you the scummy stuff is in there. So thanks for watching this part. We'll see you next time. We've got duct tape on there with CLR in here to clean them threads. Just a short clip I'll add on one of the videos, you'll see this pop up. It's dripping, but it's working.